Smith, Elijah Malone. As soon as Rooney's ready, we'll open it up for questions. Go ahead.
Elijah, your shooting numbers obviously were good at your previous college, and even the free throw numbers. But what's kind of your mindset? You hit some big free throws tonight. Kind of stay calm, maybe stay in the moment. What were you able to do to knock those down?
I mean, it's just another free throw. That's what I think when I'm at the line.
Elijah, you obviously had a good game, but through 2 overtimes, guys get tired. How were you able to keep your composure and still play through the whole game?
Yeah, I mean, when you're in a situation like that and it's a close game, it's hard not to be excited and really going. So,
for either of you, I think it was a 6-point lead late in regulation. That went away. How were you guys able to, maybe not get down after that? Obviously, stay focused and make the plays over 2 overtimes. It was maybe easy to get down, kind of losing that momentum going into overtime. How did you make sure that didn't happen?
I feel like whatever happens. It's just the way we respond, and we practice situations like this in practice all the time. Time to score, and wanted double overtime, but I think we executed it well and got the dub. So.
Elijah, obviously coming from a lower level, now being in D1 and being able to perform at the level you did today, how is that transition to D1 basketball?
Can you repeat that?
Sorry. With coming to D1 basketball, especially with a team like this and with Colorado, and being able to perform at a high level like you did today, explain or kind of talk on that.
I mean, I don't want to say like the transition's been easy, but like the guys on my team have kind of made it that way, in a sense of I go to practice every day and I'm working out with some of the best players in the country, right? So, like I'm gonna get better every day just by being around those guys.
RJ, you talked about how you guys got back from the shot that forced OT, but did you have what was going through your head specifically, or any other guys' heads when that shot went in?
Yeah, obviously at first I was like, dang, he really hit that. But Coach Manning always says next play, and that's what our group told each other. Next play, we huddled up, and it has led to the dub. So I like the way we responded. Like I said, a lot of good leadership at the end of the game.
Elijah, you had a Lambeau leap moment, hit that bucket and one, you went high-five the fan. You ever done that before?
No, I haven't done that before. Just kind of caught up in the moment.
Obviously, weather night, maybe crowd not as big as it would have been, but what does it feel like playing this arena, and kind of what's your initial feel with the crowd here?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. It's a lot bigger than the school I came from. But I mean, the energy is awesome. It's a great atmosphere.
RJ, how's it feel to be back out there and getting going?
It feels good, it feels like I haven't played in so long, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity I have now and just taking advantage of it. So, really grateful, yeah.
Elijah, more on the play Thad just referred to, the mid-court steal and the breakaway for you. We don't see a lot of guys making that play. A lot of guys your size making that play at the mid-court. Take us through that play. What did you see, and how were you able to jump on that pass?
I was just kind of you feel out the game a little bit on defense, and knowing the scout and knowing what they were about to get into, just kind of reading that play, and I was in the right position at the right time to be able to get a hand on it.
You doing that on purpose too?
Okay.
One more. RJ, maybe going forward for this team, there were some kind of late game moments, late period, late regulation, late overtime moments where execution was off. We saw some bad fouls, some turnovers at the wrong time. For this team, what do you have to do to maybe clean some of those things up? It's probably not the last tight game you're going to be in going forward. How's this team clean some of those things up?
Really just slow down. I feel like sometimes we be playing too fast. I feel like we're too excited sometimes, but we trying to make the right plays at the end of the day, and just playing together, making the one more pass, being strong with the ball, all the things that prepare us for the Big 12 we need to get better at right now. So just have physical practices, just keep learning. So watch the film.
Anything else? All right, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. RJ, don't reach your phone.
You just passed it.
See you later.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's it. I think you probably have to try. You're probably good to go.
Will you guys be here grinding that out?
It'll take
Packed house.
an hour and a half, 2 hours.
What's that?
Packed house.
Back.
Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, honestly.
I'll be here.
Oh, in here. 6152.
What was?
Oh, you don't want to get somebody
That
in.
is not big.
So,
What point you're
I'm gonna put some money on some Gatorade.
I love how I just went, wait.
That time of year works.
Yeah, we were like,
And we look up and you were like, it's yeah.
oh, duh.
I
didn't even know I could do that with both passes. Just use it on
Yeah, it's just, and then I switch them because then I would misplace the other because I didn't really
Yeah,
start
I would
very
have
early.
I've been wanting to. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
just a couple quick things.
Go on.
That was the first home 2 overtime game since that South Dakota State game in 2017. It was actually the first overtime game ever in the UNC series.
Really?
So, and no coaches here. All right. Apparently you guys did.
Yep.
Okay. Hey guys, Tad Boyle was his 300th career game in Colorado, and we'll have to start with the opening statement. We'll open up for questions.
Well, good win. I mean, it wasn't easy. You know, I told the team I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty, and we won a little bit ugly tonight. Yeah, I got to tip my hat to Northern Colorado. I mean, those kids and the way they played and the way they fought. Coach Smiley's done a great job with that program, and you know, they got a lot of returning guys. Really's a returning guy. I know Wisney's a returning guy. They got 4 or 5 guys. Reynolds, so they got guys that have played in that system, and it showed. They really played well, I thought, offensively, and obviously they shot the ball extremely well. From the 3, we gave up 13 threes. We only got 5, and our goal is to give up 6 or less. The guys that made threes were shooters on the scouting report. We just I look at the 21 turnovers and the 12 offensive rebounds and our inability to get a stop when it counted. And we got one at the end. We got one stop enough to win that game, but we had opportunities to close that thing out, and we couldn't do it because we couldn't get stops. So a lot of things for us to improve on. Taking care of the ball, boxing out, limiting second chance opportunities, guarding the three-point line. It's like putting your finger in a dike right now. When you're coaching Colorado, because it's different things on different nights. I mean, turnovers have been consistent. We've been a pretty good box-out rebounding team. We knew that UNC was going to challenge that more than Eastern Washington did, more than even Texas did, because those guys crash, and they're physical. So, good win. We'll take it, but we got to get better, obviously.
What was maybe the message to the team going into that first overtime? You had the 6-point lead in the final half minute there.
Yeah, look.
A lot of momentum for them.
Yeah,
That last shot.
obviously we had timeouts, and Ruff got stuck in the corner. Now he said he was trying to call timeout, but officials didn't hear him. They got the ball from him. But again, it's guarding. You're up 6 with a minute. You get stops, you win the game. They can't come back. But if you can't get stops, I mean, and they made big threes. Now we got a stop, but we didn't get the rebound. And then the kid, McCreary, takes it to the three-point line, hit a big-time 3, in front of their bench. I mean, sometimes the basketball gods, when you don't do what you're supposed to do, they make you pay. And they made us pay tonight because we weren't able to get a stop and finish, possession. We got a stop, we just didn't finish the possession. So, yeah, you're up 6. So the good thing is, guys didn't feel sorry for themselves. I felt like our depth. I really limited rotations there down the stretch, which, again, with this team, it's like throwing darts on a dartboard right now. It really is. I mean, in practice, there's just not a lot of separation. I thought Elijah Malone was terrific tonight, both offensively and defensively. I thought Andre Akimovsky was terrific defensively with his effort on Riley, who's a really good player, and he really, I think, wore him down. So we had some good, performances on offense and on defense, but collectively we weren't good enough to put this team away.
You kind of touched on it, talking about how they had 4 or 5 guys who returned. But, to start the game, really in Reynolds, they, were scoring the ball and having their way. But then later in the game, Isaiah Hawthorne and McCreary both stepped up and did so in OT. What was it like looking at your lineup and trying to find defenders to,
Well, look, I was just, again, it's like throwing darts on a dartboard because guys are, I go with guys that I've coached, that I have confidence in, defensively, and sometimes that works in our favor, sometimes it doesn't. I've got, again, we foul blotch 94 feet from the basket. You're up 2. Like it's those are the things, like, I've asked my team, like, let's play hard, let's play smart, and let's play together, okay? And we play hard. Our guys compete. They give you everything they got. We don't always play smart, all right? And when you have 9 assists in a 50-minute game, you're not playing together offensively. You're trying to do stuff mano-on-mano, one-on-one. And what's crazy is the last 2 days in practice, we've played what we call the assist game, where you're going up and down, and your team doesn't get a point unless you get an assist. So we've really been stressing it, and then we come out tonight and play like this. It's like this team offensively, what I see in practice every day, relative to what I've seen in the first 2 games, it's like not the same team. And that's, as a coach, very, very frustrating, because that means you got guys that aren't playing how they practice. The lights go on and they think, okay, it's time for me to go do it by myself. And we're just not good enough to do that. We're just not. Now, we were good enough to beat Northern Colorado, who's in the Big Sky. What, you get in the Big 12? We'll score 40 points doing that. Maybe. Maybe. We've got to figure that out. We just got to play how we practice and get that ball moved and take advantage of the skills that we have. We got some skilled guys. Elijah Malone drew 7 fouls tonight. Trevor Baskin drew 8 fouls. Like, that's something Trevor does a really good job of. He just has to learn to pick and choose his spots and play team basketball. So there's just so much to improve on. And look, Trevor's adjusting to a new level. Elijah is adjusting to a new level. So, I cut them a little bit of a slack there, but we're also counting on them, as grad transfers with their experience to, make plays and execute what we're trying to get done. And guys are trying. It's not because they're not trying. It's just play hard, play smart, which we're not doing. Play together, which we're not doing. So we got 1 out of 3. We got to get 3 out of 3. We get 3 out of 3, we'll be able to play with anybody in the country. But without all 3, this team is going to have a lot of games like we had tonight.
End of regulation, I'm sorry. End of regulation, you were up 3. You guys take the 1 foul to get it to 16 fouls. I'm thinking, they're actually going to maybe take that foul up 3. I know it's not
It's not my style.
It's not your style, and it didn't happen. Did you consider it? Especially when the 6th foul.
One of my assistants asked. You want to foul up 3? Yeah. So that's not what we do. I know I opened myself up for criticism. I'm good with it, man. Like our defensive numbers since we've been here and how our teams have guarded, I'll stand on that. Because there's ways you can lose. Heck, we had a free throw box out, almost cost us a game. So we foul, they make 1, we don't get a free throw box out. I look pretty stupid. people might think I'm stupid anyway. Maybe I am. That's my philosophy, and it's just the way I've been. There might be some times where I do it, but if we can't get a stop against these guys, how are we going to get a stop against a Big 12 team?
Coach, you guys were working on the high press in practice as well as high intensity defense. How do you think that translated and looked in today's game?
It came and it went. I thought at the end of the first half it was pretty good. I thought we really ramped up our intensity and, really wanted to make it hard on Riley and again understanding the scouting report. So I thought our defensive intensity came and went. You give up 88 points, you can't feel real good about your defense. So a lot of things to watch and learn from the film on that. But again, I mentioned the plugging holes in the dike. You got turnover. The turnover issue is a major issue for this team that we got to continue to work on, and we're going to do that. And I got to show patience with this team because this team is they're trying. We're just not where we need to be on November 8th. Where I'd like to be, and again, don't have a lot of experience returning. Got a bunch of new guys. I guess you could say it's to be expected, but the standards of this program, I don't want to compromise the standards of this program. So I got to find that balance of being patient and not compromising our standards.
Some of the late game mistakes you've just alluded to, the foul 94 feet from the basket, the inbounds, the turnover, Andre, the ticky-tack foul for the three-point play. Some of these, it involves some of your more, I know it's a young group, but some of those are some of your more experienced players.
Yep.
How concerning is that aspect?
It is. It's concerning because I would think they know better. I think Andre's played a lot of college basketball at a high level. Trevor's played a lot of college basketball. Elijah's played a lot of college basketball. So I expect them to understand things. And, as long as we're getting a great, the end of the first overtime, we got a great look. I mean, I'll take that look from Andre all day long. It just didn't go in. So guess what? You got to go to the second overtime and try to figure out how to win. But yeah, I expect because the other part of close games is players make plays, and we knew that. I said, I don't know how many times in this room after a win. The difference in the game was we had McKinley right and they didn't. Players make plays at the end of the games, and we made enough plays tonight to win, but we could have made more plays, and at some point you're going to have to do that. Our players are going to have to do that.
Obviously, Elijah had a good game tonight. You mentioned, coming from another level of basketball, got fouled multiple times. He's also a bigger guy, and so I was just wondering how you kind of deal with his stamina, especially in a double overtime game like tonight.
Well, we were going defense with him at the end, so we had him in on offense because he is a presence down low. He's a good free throw shooter, and he can score the ball. So part of the game plan from the get-go was getting the ball inside. And we ran a play to start the game to get the ball inside, and we couldn't get the ball inside. But as the game went on, we did a better job of that. Elijah was a big part of the game tonight, unlike against Eastern Washington. So I thought he took a step forward in many respects, and we did some good things. Again, I thought Andre's defensive performance on Riley was terrific. We made some good things, did some good things. Jew made some plays down the stretch. Ruff made some plays down the stretch, but we got to do it more collectively, and we got to do it together, not relying on our individual talents.
Just one final question.
300th win at CU.
Yeah.
I've been here for a few of these milestone wins for you. What does this one mean for you?
Look, I don't get caught up into that stuff, Pat. This is not about me. This is about our players. It's about our program. It's about us trying to get our team, better every single day. So, yeah, it just means I've been around a long time, and it means we've had some really good players here. That's what 300 wins means. But those are things that are hard for me to really think about in the moment, and certainly, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm not going to be thinking about my 300th win. I'm going to figure out how do we get to 301. And, And that's going to be Wednesday night against Fullerton. How we're going to get our team better, over the next 3-4 days. That's what I'm thinking about. But it is a milestone win. It's nice. It just means I've had really good assistant coaches, I've had really good players, and I've been here a long time. And I said that this was my dream job when I got it. In May of 2010, I think it was, and or April. It's right, April 21st. But I've stayed true to that. And I meant it, and I still mean it. So I'm lucky to be the head coach here, and I'm honored. And I got to do a better job with this team, and it's going to be a challenge this year. But that's why you coach. That's why our guys play. I like this team. I told them after the game, I like this team. I think by the end of the year, I think I can love this team. But we have to get better. Thank you.